the 28th today. I was about to say the 24th. That's crazy. January 20th. Coming at you today with some of these picks that today I'm going live because not every single day do I have a slate of favorites. Today I got a nice heavy slate of my favorite plays that are going to be playing today, ranging between NHL, NBA, NCAA, and I do got a soccer pick today. But before we get into all that, you guys, like always, can go into the description, check out the links below to get on all the action with myself and the rest of the research team, my brother YS, my brother Dove, Eden, Ghost, and Deuce. So, with that, let's get into today's slate. I want to start out with the one soccer game, Manchester City. Manchester City is playing in their Champions League. This is not a Premier League game. This is not a World Tournament game. This is a Champions League game. This is I know people be wondering is this for a tournament or anything that's going on. This is a regular season game. Manchester in their last 5 games have won 3 out of 2, which is, even though it don't sound bad for Manchester, it's actually underperforming. But I like them today. I can't really say the name of the team they're going against. I don't want to mispronounce the country, be disrespectful like that. But the team they're going against has like a -11 goal differential in this league. Manchester has a +4 goal differential. I'm going to be taking Manchester -1.5. Opened up at a -4. No, they opened up at a -270 favorite, and they're now all the way up to 425. I think that's great value to take this total run line -1.5. Manchester come out and be more dominant than they have been lately, and for a team that is like +1,000, the odds of them beating Manchester is very, very slim. So a lot of reasons that those odds be so crazy like that in soccer is because the soccer game doesn't have to end with a winner. I just see myself slouching in here, fix my posture. But a soccer game can end in a draw. So since a soccer game can end in a draw, the odds are always shaped like that because nobody has to win a game in soccer for it to be over. But Manchester is a super heavy favorite today at -425. I'm going to be taking them -1.5. They play at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is my one soccer play for the day. We don't have lineups. It is 10:03 currently Eastern Standard Time. We don't have lineups at this moment. They'll probably be out around 2 o'clock, 1:30 to 2 o'clock. They'll probably drop if you're somebody that's interested in looking at that. And if you wanted to take a player prop, Antonio Simone, Erling Haaland, those are some people that I would take for a goal. Robert Foden, those are people that I would take for a goal if you wanted to look into player props for that game. Next game that I got, we're going into NCAA. I think I have 3 NCAA picks. Yes, I do. I got 3 NCAA picks for today. My first one, and like I said, these are plays that I have Manchester favored. Any day Manchester plays, I'm looking into trying to profit off of Manchester because of the team that they are. Robert Morris is playing, but Robert Morris is playing a team IUI. That's the acronym for the college, and I have that team favored because they are not that great of a team, and I like trying to take the value in the spreads or if there's any in the money line for the team they're going against. So that's what brings me to Robert Thomas, a team that is 13-9 for the season. They opened up at -455 for the money line, so heavily favored in this basketball contest today. They are 2-3 in their last 5, and one of their 5 one of their three losses that they took in this last five came to IUI. They lost in an overtime game. They lost by three in overtime. Very, very close game. It was, way for in that game. I picked Robert Morris to cover the spread, and they lost. The spread was 5.5. Today, Robert Morris is. I think they opened up at -5.5. I have to go look because I didn't type the open. Why? For me, usually in my betting, in my betting experiences, like it just happened the other. To let y'all know how it happened the other day. The Minnesota Timberwolves are playing the Golden State Warriors, heavily favored. Minnesota Timberwolves get blown out by the Golden State Warriors. They're playing with Steph Curry and Anthony Edwards on the court. The spread was like -11.5 or something. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was like, no, the spread was -7.5 for the first game. The Warriors blew out the Timberwolves that day. It was like 119 to 70 or 80 or something like that. One of those games was postponed. I think the first one was postponed, so they had to play a back-to-back situation. And Steph Curry and Anthony Edwards did not play, and they upped the spread from 7.5 the day that the Stars played to -11.5 the day that the Stars weren't in the game. And the Golden State Warriors lost by like 24 points, somewhere in that range. Like it was not a close game at all. And I feel like that happens amongst Vegas bet throughout every players like Coco Golf. Like there's just some of their spreads that you would think is just cash. Like it wouldn't be cash the first time they come back the next game. Like they would end up like Coco Golf. She'd end up winning the match. She doesn't cover a -1.5 set spread. Comes out the next game and wins 2-0. You know what I'm saying? Things like that happen a lot. So for Robert Thomas to be losing the last time they played, and it was a situation where Robert Thomas just took their 9th loss of the season. IUI is up to like 14 losses. So just going off of statistics and recent trends, I would believe that Robert Thomas can cover this 8.5 spread, even though they bumped it up, and it was 5.5 last time Robert Thomas was on the road against this team. Now they upped it to, they opened up at 8.5. It's up to 9.5. I'm taking 8.5 for Robert Thomas against IUI. That is a 6 o'clock start time, I believe. I don't have the start times for my games written down, but that was my first college pick, Robert Thomas, -8.5 today. My next pick, if you have been following the research team, then you know this team that I'm about to bring up is one of my favorite college. George Mason. George Mason is a team that I found when they were 6-0, or I found them when they were 5-0. They became 6-0 today. I took them against Ohio State, or just Ohio, the Green Bobcats. I took George Mason over the spread that day, being 6-0 that day, and I've taken them ever since. And with them, I am 12-2 since they've been 6-0. Okay, George Mason is a great team. They're coming off only their second loss of the season. They opened up at a -450 money line, but today I'm going to be taking the spread like I took the first time I ever took them. And their spread is the same number as the first time I ever took them, -6.5. To me, like this is just I come up here, I give out some picks. I think it behooves everybody to do their own research. I'm going off of the fact that I've been running with George Mason this whole season. It's only like they haven't covered the spread maybe in the last 14 games, 3 games when I've picked them. I can't really remember too many losses I took with George Mason, but maybe like I know they took 2 losses. I know they took 2 losses, so they didn't cover the spread at all. But I think only one other game they didn't cover. And based off of that, I'm going to take George Mason once again with this -6.5. I mean, coming off their second loss of the season, and now they're going back home to go play in front of their fans. I don't believe that George Mason is going to slack in any instance of the game. They play great defense, one of the best defensive mid-American teams that we'll find in college basketball. I feel like that's something that like I would probably bet myself on a solo leg so I can try to make some money off of that. Like, I'm not saying that you have to follow that. I will be putting slips in, and you can check them in the description. But George Mason -6.5, and the odds on it is -110. I believe that this is something that is suitable for anybody that would want to take. Then the last college game that I have is San Francisco. San Francisco was playing in a late game, and San Fran is another team that I look at like I look at them kind of like George Mason, only because they are a good defensive team. San Fran just played Gonzaga. Gonzaga, I'm pretty sure if anybody follows college basketball, Gonzaga is by and far the best college men's team that you can put on the court on any given night. No, they didn't like just win the Natty last year. They lost a couple players, but collectively that is one of the best cohesive teams. Like, I think their record right now might be like 20-1 or 22-1 or something like that. They don't lose any games. But San Fran, the last game that Gonzaga played was against San Fran, and San Fran had covered a 18.5 spread. They covered an 18.5 spread, and they only lost that game by 2 points. So I like the fact that San Fran has been able to play good defense. Today they're going into a contest where they're the underdog. They're +9.5 underdogs. I'm going to be taking San Fran for the +9.5, and those will be all of my college picks for today's slate, or at least for me, not in today's slate. Those are all my college picks for today's slate. Moving on to hockey, because hockey only has one game in my favorited teams, right? And the one team that is favorited today happens to be my favorite NHL team, the Colorado Avalanche. Today we're going against the Ottawa Senators. I love Ottawa. I love picking Tim Stutzel every single time I can. Drake Matheson anytime I can. Brady Tkachuk, I'm so glad that he came back early enough in the season for us to be able to profit off of him during this hockey season. I like the position that Colorado is in right now. They just I think they just shut out Toronto. I think we did shut out Toronto. They probably could have got a goal, but I think we shut out Toronto 4-0 game. It was a 4-0 game, actually, now that I think about it. So we shut out Toronto in our last game. We come down to the last game, but I think sometime in the middle of January, maybe January like 10th through the 18th to the 19th, Colorado was not playing his best hockey, especially when we just lost 7-3 to the Flyers. Oh my God, I almost threw up. I'm not gonna lie, I almost threw up. But today we're going against Ottawa. Ottawa is a bottom 3 penalty kill team, and with Brock Nelson being on the top line for the Colorado Avalanche, being a left-handed shooter, it definitely opens up all the shooting lanes now, because earlier in the season our power play was, we're a very top. If you follow hockey, then we're a very very top heavy team. Kel McCarr, defenseman. Gabriel Landeskog was lining up as a defenseman. Then you got Martin Necas, you got Arturi Lehkonen, and you got Nathan McKinnon, of course. But you can, rotate the forwards any way you seem fit. But Brock Nelson is one of the few left-handers that we have, players that shoot left hand on Colorado. And if in hockey, like if everybody's shooting right and you're passing it to the right side, the goalie could just power play like that. Colorado in the beginning of the season was bottom 10 in power play percentage, converting on the power play. They have made it up into the mid 14s, 13, somewhere in that realm right now. But if you know Colorado, you know that they're a way better team than what that penalty play would suggest. And for Ottawa, for them to be bottom three in penalty kills, it just doesn't bode well for them. Especially like Ottawa just had like I said, I love betting on Ottawa. Ottawa just beat Vegas. Shout out to Ottawa for beating Vegas. Okay, 7-1 I think it was. Shout out to them boys. I took the -1.5, -4 or 5.5. Like, but just gotta play sometimes. Um, and even though I love Ottawa, I think that Ottawa could get some shots to the net, because that's another thing that they do really good at. They're really good at getting shots on net. I just don't think that they have the speed and the skill, not to down any professional athlete, but I just don't think that the skill matches up with Colorado. One thing that Ottawa does have in their favor is that this is a team that's been together for a couple of years. Like, yes, Gabriel is coming back. Kale and Nathan have played their whole careers with each other, but Brock Nelson and Martin Netches, even though they were there last year, this is their first full season with Colorado. So that's the only thing that I would say that Ottawa has in favor that Colorado doesn't, is they do have more of a team chemistry, more team cohesion. But the Colorado Avalanche, in their top heavy ability and the fact that this is a bottom three penalty kill team, I'm going with Colorado -1.5. That is the play that is cleared. If you go look at Colorado, let's say that they played 50 games this season. They lost a total of 12 games, right? They lost 12 games, so that leaves 38 games left. They probably won 30 games clearing -1.5. Like, I'm not saying that 100% fact, but I'm telling you that if you go look into that, like, I think they've played 50 something games. Like, let's say they've played 51 games, right? They lost, I think we lost 4 regular games, and we lost, I think we lost 5 overtime losses. I'm not 100% sure, but what I'm saying is the -1.5 spread for Colorado has won more times than Colorado has lost a game this season. So that value is something that I think all sports better. CBS Sports, and that is my only hockey play of the day. Today is a very, very short slate. I mean, I do have notes written down for the other two games, because it's only two other games. I'm taking the New York Islanders and the total over in that game, and I'm taking Columbus Blue Jackets and the total over game. I Those are just things that I wrote down. The one that I'm definitely playing for sure is Colorado -1.5, but I'm not reluctant on taking the Islanders. Rangers. The Rangers are playing very poorly, and the Islanders are at home. And I have no problem taking Columbus over Philly, even though Philly did just beat Colorado. That is not normal. That's like a 7-3. First of all, Colorado doesn't lose games like that. The most we've ever been scored on this whole season was 6 goals, and that was by the Islanders, who are playing the Rangers. That's why I'm taking the Islanders. And for Philly to do that and then come back and turn around and like have a great performance, not even beat a team that Columbus just beat Tampa Bay. That is the hottest team. That is the hottest team in the league. So the fact that Columbus beat Tampa Bay, I'm reluctant to take Columbus against Philly, who is still down Tyrone Forrester. Like but like I said, is a short slate, and those aren't even my favorite. My favorite plays is just, since there's only 2 other games of hockey and I already have them written down, there's no reason to not tell you guys. But I'm taking Colorado -1, and I'm taking Colorado to score in the first period. But that is the end of the hockey slate. I have one favorite game. Disclosure on this first game. I am an Orlando Magic fan. Okay, I'm an Orlando Magic fan. Okay, like We could play that song anytime. Like Orlando Magic. Like I'm an Orlando Magic fan. Okay. So I got Orlando Magic money line and my. Don't listen. Listen. My team has underperformed all season. I am disappointed in them. But we own the Heat. Okay. We own them boys. Okay. They cannot do nothing with us. I can't wait till later on today because all my cousins is Heat fans. I can't wait. Oh, and my boy YS a Heat fan. I can't wait. Listen, we own it. Okay? Miami. Miami is a good team too. Norman Powell, you know what I'm saying? Bam Adebayo, I respect them. Andrew Wiggins, I respect them. Tyler, I respect them. P5. That's all I gotta say. P5. Orlando Magic money line. I think the spread is -2.5. If you're not comfortable with taking the Magic to win the game, the spread pays almost just the same. The only thing I'll say this though, right? Just for me and just tips that I give out to bettors. I'm somebody who, if I see a -1.5 spread, like I think the Spurs and the Rockets are like -2.5, -1.5. When I see a spread like that, I usually take the underdog team to win the game, especially in a game like basketball. Like the spread being -2.5, to cover the spread, you have to win by 3 points. Like at least 3 points. But I done seen so many games. Like earlier this season, I took Orlando to cover the spread against the Nets. We beat the Nets. Igor Denham, I don't know how to say his name. Igor Denham, some rookie 19-year-old, made 5 threes. From the fourth quarter, he made 3 threes and made 2 threes in overtime. We're down 1. I picked Orlando to cover -2.5. We're down 1. Paulo Banchero, okay, hits a walk-off 3 ball. We win by 2. I need a -2. Okay, so like I said, when the spreads be that close, like especially in game, like okay, in Houston, because I have Rockets money line written down, but it is -2.5 right now. They're playing the Spurs. Okay, I want you guys to know, like when I come up here and say things like I'm about to say, like I'm not like these aren't lies. These are facts. You can go look it up. It's 10/24, January 28th right now. You can go look this up that I'm about to tell you. Today, out of all of the teams playing today, the best defensive rating team is the Spurs. So the Rockets, even though Amen Thompson is playing out of his mind, I think he just had 9 assists the last time he was on the court. Oh my God, shout out to him. Kevin Durant, we all know who Kevin Durant is for the last 20-something years, maybe, 20 years on the dot. For the last 20 years, we've been watching this man get bucket after bucket. There's nobody that can guard him. Alfred Sengun is coming into of his own. Jabari Smith Jr., Kevin Durant just taught him how to shoot. You see what Kevin Durant did with Anthony Edwards with the Olympics? I mean, yeah, Anthony Edwards is a better player than Jabari Smith Jr., so it kind of catches on a little quicker. But if you've been watching Houston, Jabari Smith, he's done clicked now. He's ready. Like, All-Star break, once that's over, Jabari Smith, man, listen, man. So, then you got Steven Adams, they got Reed Shepherd, who seems like he don't know how to miss. You know what I'm saying? So, but on the other side, that's why you get a spread of -2.5. I think that because just if you didn't hear or didn't realize that the biasness kind of took over, the Magic was my first pick, and I'm taking them money line. They are underdogs +2.5 today. The Rockets are favorite in Houston -2.5. I am taking the Rockets to win. Now, once again, I have to remind you guys, I'm an Orlando Magic fan. Okay, so and the other team that I have is boom the Raptors. The Toronto Raptors are playing the New York Knicks. Listen, listen to me. The New York Knicks have been playing very poorly. And there's rumors saying that they want to trade Carl Anthony Towns. Wow, I read that. I'm telling y'all something I read. I didn't make that up, okay? I read somewhere that they're trying to trade Carl Anthony Towns and looking for a trade. That's I don't think that's really nothing to look into of like why I'm picking what I'm picking. I like the Raptors money line. I don't think that the Knicks are playing that well on the road. I know the Knicks have one of the best home records. I don't think the Knicks are playing that well on the road. And the third best defensive rating team today is the Toronto Raptors. Okay, they play defense. They play extremely good defense. You got Brandon Ingram, who's automatic. People like to, you know, like try to make it seem like he's playing this good because Gorilla's courtside. When Bi has been automatic since he's played in the Lakers jersey, since he's played in the Pelicans jersey, that man is automatic. So then you pair him up with a playmaker like Emmanuel Quickly and a all-around guard that's RJ Barrett, and they're at home. You got Sandro. Man, listen. I I know that we can talk about the Knicks. Yes, they got Jalen Brunson. I'm not taking away from Jalen Brunson. They got Carl Anthony Towns, best 3-point shooting big man of all time. Okay, cool. They got OG Anunoby, lockdown 3-and-D guy. He's like this era's Scottie Pippen. They try to say. Mikal Bridges, the other wing 3-and-D wing guy, and then you got Josh Hart running around getting all the rebounds and assists for everybody and making up for everything that's the hustle plays. I get it. I'm not reluctant of what happens on the court. I understand those things. For those who don't pay attention and think that, like, why would we pick to, like, listen, man, Toronto is an exceptional team. That's an exceptional team. They're well coached. They all play together. They don't let the ball stick to one person. You know what I'm saying? And everybody on that team can knock down shots. And they don't have a lot of bad nights. Toronto is a team that don't have a lot of bad nights. I think if we look at them, they're probably like I'm gonna go look. Even though I don't like doing this because I don't. But I did say that Toronto was on the road, and if we look at them, if we look at the Knicks play this month, 5 wins for the New York Knicks. That's what I'm talking about. They are on a 3-game win streak. That's like right after Jalen Brunson called like a team meeting, but a team like Toronto don't see that. A high power offensive team. They're a top defensive team. I think they're the fifth best defensive. Like I told y'all, like I don't be lying. I know for a fact Spurs is the best defensive rating team playing today. I think in the whole NBA, the Raptors are either the fifth or sixth best defensive rating team in the league. Like they're no lower than six. Like you can go check, they're no lower than six. So accompany that with the fact that they're a high offensive power team, and then they also have the size advantage at every position. I just love the Toronto Raptors in this spot, and I know that a lot of people may be thinking that this is a game for the Knicks. Like because they're on this run. I just think that Toronto is a better team. This is me. I think Toronto is a better team and fit to take on a Knicks team that, I mean, yeah, they just won their last 3 games, but over the course of the month, they're spiraling downward. They're trending downward. So those are my favorite plays of the day. I'll run them all back just for those who did not hear. I got Manchester City -1.5 today. That is my only soccer play. That is Champions League, just so you know. You can find that. I got NCAA men's basketball. I got Robert Thomas minus. Well, I'm taking the spread. I didn't write whatever the spread number is. I think it's -1. I think it's -8. Didn't I write that spread? Oh yes, no, -8.5. I'm taking -8.5. That's not the to adjust that spread to minus 8.5 for Robert Thomas. I am taking George Mason minus 6.5 spread today, and I am taking San Fran plus 9.5 today. That's it for my college basketball. I have one NHL pick for today, and it is Colorado Avalanche minus 1.5. And then I have my three basketball plays. I have the Orlando Magic money line over the Miami Heat. I have the Houston Rockets money line over the Spurs, and I have the Toronto Raptors money line over the New York Knicks. My name is Common Mays of the Research Team Florida. I hope that you guys found the information that I gave you guys useful. I hope that some of these things that I told you guys make you some money today. And with some of the things that I said, hopefully you can retain it and make you some money without having to come back to this all the time. Not saying that I don't want you guys to come back, of course. The engagement, the comments, you know what I'm saying? Go Canes. I see somebody said go Canes. I seen a couple people who was waving, you know, not like I want the interaction, but I do want people to take this knowledge and go use it for themselves. Things like I said earlier today, how I told you guys, you know, George Mason, they were 6-0 when I found them, and since I found them, they're 12-2. I hope that you bet on George Mason for the rest of the season. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Colorado Avalanche being minus 1.5. That clearing more than they lost this season. That is a true statistic. I'm not making that up. We can go through box scores and stuff like that, you know, next time I'm doing a live, or, you know, because I want to make sure people know that I'm not just out here just trying to say something for you to just come up here and click. I want to give out good information. So data heads, I hope that that is something that you guys can use in your sports betting today. Good luck on all those tickets, and I'll see you guys next time.